The door of time. He got up from his chair and began to walk out of the room. He turned into the long hallway where a great number of people stood hoping just to get a glimpse of him. Everyone bowed as he passed. About halfway through the crowd, he passed two men. One turned to the other and asked, "Where is he going?" The other man answered, "The welcome room. He always likes to greet the children personally." Finally, at the end of the hallway, he arrived at the welcome room, where the door of time was located. The guardian of the door of time bowed and said, "Welcome, Lord." With there being no time in heaven, the guardian asked, "At which earth time should I place?" God said, 20 minutes before it happens, as I want to be with them before the accident." The guardian of the door simply picked up a book and read the names of the children that God came to welcome. Immediately, the physical room on the earth where the children stood was adjoined to heaven's welcome room, only separated by the door of time. Meanwhile, on the other side of the door, a husband, a wife, and 5 little ones were finishing up dinner and beginning their nightly routine. The oldest 3 are all boys, and the youngest, still babies, are twins. Laughter of the children fills the house like every other night. They have no idea that there is a door connected to heaven right in their room, and looking through the clear but solid door is the Creator of the world. Back in the welcome room, where time does not exist, God stands and looks through the door of time and keeps laughing and shaking his head like a daddy would as the children play. The guardian of the door of time said, "The family will not understand why you are allowing this to happen." As he continues to gaze at the family through the door, God said, "Now they won't, because they see life mainly through their eyes on earth. They smell, hear, taste, and touch, but haven't experienced heaven yet. They won't realize the fullness of life until they're here standing with us. So I will be with them as they grieve. I will give them peace to overcome their sorrow." Then God pulled out a key made of solid diamond and fit it into the lock of the door of time. He turned the handle. Back on the other side of the door, almost out of nowhere, the house caught on fire, and it began to spread very quickly. The family, in panic, all were trying to get outside. The mother, the eldest boy, and the twins, along with the father, got separated from 2 of the children. The 2 boys were trapped on the other side of the house as the rest of the family was forced outside from the extreme heat and smoke. Right when the separation of the 2 children occurred, the 2 boys saw a light through the dark smoke. An open door was in the center of the room, not attached to anything. A man was in pure white, and where he stood there was no smoke and no danger. Holding each other, they ran to the man, who by this time was on his knees and had open arms. As they approached him, they realized they could breathe again, and their coughing from the thick smoke stopped. One of the boys said, "Are you a fireman?" God said, "No, little one, but I came to take you and your brother out of the fire. I'm your Father God that you've prayed to every night before bed. I have a place just for you boys, where you'll be safe, and soon you'll see your family. But we'll have to go now." One of the little boys started to cry and said, "But I'll miss my mommy and daddy." God said, "My dear boy, once we walk through the door behind me, you won't miss them, since you'll see them soon after." A peace came over the boys, and God held one in each arm as he stood. He turned and began to walk through the door. As they passed, the earthly shells that had allowed the boys to live on earth shed away and remained in the house. The door of time was closed and then disappeared after God and the boys entered the welcome room of heaven. God placed the boys on the ground, and one asked, "Can we leave a rainbow so Mommy and Daddy will know that we're with you?" With a smile, God said, "I'll send 2 rainbows." Then the other boy said, "When are we going to see our Mommy and Daddy?" As there is no time in heaven, the entirety of earth time had already happened, and so God said, "Let's go see them now." Dedicated to the Van Dijks.